Now to create straddles out of inversions, it's very simple. You simply leave out whatever note is in the middle. And I don't want you to think technically at this point. If you can do this, if you've got your hands, if you've got your tarantulas trained and able to do this, you can do the straddle technique. You just simply leave out whatever note is in the middle. Okay, so in root position, the middle note is here, right? Okay, let's go to first inversion. Normally it would be here, but if we're going to use the straddle technique, we're going to leave out the middle note. So these are the outside notes now. Here's the middle note, right? I'm really stating the obvious. Here's second inversion. Which note is in the middle? Everybody knows. This one is now in the middle, okay? And back to root position. Now this guy's in the middle, so we'll leave it out. So now I'm going to do the same thing, always leaving out the middle note. Watch this. Now I'm only playing two notes at once, right? This is not algebra. It's very simple math. There were three notes, and now there's only two. We're leaving out whatever note was in the middle of all those inversions. All of a sudden, you've got something really musical happening, almost like bells. Here it is in D. Notice my hands have to do a slightly different technique. Let's try it on C minor. Check this out. This is beautiful. All of a sudden, you're thinking about mist and dark nights and some mystery, right? So this is the straddle technique. We call it a straddle because we're straddling the middle note. We're not playing it, okay? Now I want to use this example in a song. This is one of those techniques again. I love giving you examples that are very simple to understand, but they radically change the way you play. Let's take the straddle technique now and play a song with it. To demonstrate this technique, I'm going to use a very simple song that only has three chords. G major, D major, and A minor. Name of the tune is Down in the Valley. It's an old American folk song. It's very simple, but it serves really well to demonstrate the straddle technique. Now, the first time I go through, I'm not going to play the straddle technique. I'll simply play the chords and sing the melody to give you an idea of the structure of the song. And then, for contrast, I'll open it up and use the straddle technique all the way up and down the keyboard to give you an idea how simple, yet how powerful this technique is. Okay, here's the first version, just the chords and the melody. Down in the valley so low, hang your head over, hear the wind blow, hear the wind blow, dear, hear the wind blow, hang your head over, hear the wind blow. Okay, now let's open it up into the straddle technique. One of the greatest things about the straddle technique is that you're not really confined to just playing up and down one octave like I showed you at first. You know, as great as that is, you can go a little lower, nice and low on the keyboard, and you've got a nice, rich sound down there without having to think real hard, which is great if you're a musician. Now, one other tidbit, if I was playing full chords and not straddling that middle note each time, and I kept going lower, if you get low, thick chords, sometimes it gets real muddy. But when you straddle things down there, all of a sudden, instead of being muddy, it's rich. Or you can go back and forth, right? Here it is on A minor, nice and low, or D. Remember, I'm simply playing up and down the keyboard anywhere I want and inverting whatever chord I'm playing and leaving out the middle note to create fantastic sounding straddles. Let's use this now in the song. Down in the valley so low, hang your head over, hear the wind blow, hear the wind blow, dear, hear the wind blow, hang your head over, hear the wind blow. I hope that inspires you. The straddle technique is pretty easy to grasp mentally. Sometimes it's hard to get your hands to make those particular movements, but it all comes down to practice, doesn't it? Always does. But in the next lesson, we're going to go even further. We're going to combine a technique that we learned in a previous lesson called slash chords. Maybe you remember that. With a technique of straddles that we learned in this lesson. And when you combine slash chords and straddles on the keyboard, an amazing thing happens. All of a sudden you start hearing sevenths and ninths and 11ths and 13ths come out in your playing. These higher chord extensions are usually reserved for those students that study for years and years and years, and I hope you do. But if you have the secret of combining slash chords and straddles, you can get to these fantastic chords right away with an understanding. That's the kind of stuff I love to hand off because people just suddenly come alive to music and they really get inspired. So stick around, we're going to do some more stuff. This is David Sprunger from PlayPianoToday.com. Thanks for listening.